Hi guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. So today we will talk about tomato companion plant and how to prune tomato. So what is companion plants? Companion plant is when we plant things together that benefits each others. Since right now it's tomato season and I just want to focus on tomato companion plant for this video. I will be sharing with you guys a couple of my favorite tomato companion plants that is very easy to grow but give a lot of benefit. And the worst enemy of tomato plants is hornworm. They look scary and they will munching on your tomato plants overnight. Alright, so let's talk about tomato companion plants. So number one, the first popular tomato companion plant is basil. I love the smell of basil, any type of basil, but the hornworm hates it. So as you guys know, that basil has a very strong scent. So when you grow basil close to your tomato, the scent of the basil is confusing them of the plant that they're looking for. So they will stay away from your tomatoes. And I love basil so much that I grow basil every corner of the garden. And the second plant is marigolds. I love marigolds so much. I love the bright color and they smell amazing. And because of they have a strong scent, it make them an excellent deterrent against insects such as tomato hornworms, aphid, and beetles. And there are some more tomato companion plants such as garlic, onion, chive, lavender, and more. Alright, so right now after I transplant all the companion plants, I want to clear out this bed as well because it's at the end of the season and I need to transplant some of my peppers and some other vegetable on in this bed. So I will clear out all of the cold weather crops. I have some bok choy that's still in there and some kale. So I'm gonna pull all of the plants out and then add some new soil, add some more fertilizer, and ready to go for another. Okay, so now let's talk about how to prune tomato and why we need to prune tomato. So by pruning tomato is to keep the plant off the ground and help reduce common fungal disease such as early blight, leaf spot, and especially powdery mildew. The only problem that I have with tomato plants every single season is powdery mildew. And especially right now we in June, we have a June gloom, we have less sun. So the powdery mildew attack all my tomato plants this year. So I am showing you this tomato plant. This is the indeterminate cherry tomato and the variety is called berries tomatoes. So for me, for cherry tomato, I don't really prune sucker. I leave the sucker on for the maximum yield. I only cut some if necessary, just like right now, I'm cutting some of the sucker out to clear out the space, creating the airflows for the tomatoes. And the way I prune from the bottoms up. I like to clear on the bottom, so make sure all the leaf not touching the soil because it can cause the early blight. And on the other hand, for indeterminate tomato, but it's a bigger size tomato, such as beefsteak, big rainbow tomato, those I prune the sucker because I want the maximum size of the tomatoes. So I probably leave only a couple sucker on those kind of a big size variety. But for cherry, I leave it on, and you guys, it's produced so much fruit each year for the cherry tomato. And this is the new variety that I just planted this year, the berries tomato. But my favorite one is chocolate sprinkle and husky cherry tomato. They are delicious. All right, so this video is 5 weeks later from the time that I pruned the tomato. And this video, I actually just took it today. But look at this. I want to show you guys how this cherry berry tomato produce. They produce like cluster. And the fruits, the flowers, so much in this plant. And I pruned some of the flowers because it's just way too much. And just like I say, because of the May gray June glooms and my tomatoes has powdery mildew constant. I mean, I keep pruning the leaf out, but one thing that you can do is to keep your tomato plants healthy. So since I'm growing in container, I water every other day, and I fertilize every 2 weeks. So it depends on the instruction on your fertilizer bottle. Mine say that every 3 weeks or a month, but since I plant it in a small container, I fertilize every 2 weeks. Also, I want to update on this raised bed. When the video that I show you guys earlier, when I first planted the marigolds and basil, my tomato plant is still very small. But now 5 weeks, 6 weeks later, everything growing so well, and my peppers and eggplants starting to produce a lot of peppers. And just look at this tomato. They're growing so fast in a very short time. And they already crawl up there already, and a lot of lots of fruits. So this is three different variety of tomato for this side. I have the sweet 100, and I have husky cherry tomato, and the other one I missed the tag, and I just don't know what variety is the other one. But in this bed I have a couple of eggplants, a couple of dinocales, a few of peppers, and some basil. The basil doing great, and some marigold. This is jalapenos. I grow a lot of peppers this year. And just look at this side. Look at this tomato. And I prune a lot. I prune a lot, a couple times a week because these tomato growing so fast, and the powdery mildew, it just keep coming. So I'm using baking soda solution to help minimize, because powdery mildew is hard to cure, but you can minimize the powdery mildew from keep growing and destroying your plants. So for the baking soda solutions, I mix 1 tablespoon of baking soda with 1 gallon of water. I'm using the electric sprayer, but you can use any sprayer, or even though you can use the squeeze bottle. Mix it well, and then you spray on the leaf, on the stem, the top leaf, the bottom leaf, spray it all over. Some of you may prefer to spray in the morning, but in the morning it's not working for me because if I spray the baking soda solution during the day, and there's a lot of sunlight, and it will burn your tomato leaf. So I love to spray late afternoon when the sun starts to go down. I'm using baking soda in every plants in my garden, including cucumbers, eggplants, squash and zucchini. As long as the powdery mildew, the baking soda can take care of it. So coming over this bed, this is like the tomato patch. So for this bed, I grow a lot of tomatoes. So this one is the berry tomatoes. I sow a lot of seeds, so I have about five, six, seven plants of berry tomatoes, and we're gonna have a lot of tomatoes. Later in the season, I will show you guys how I preserve the tomatoes and all the vegetable that we harvest from the garden. So right here, I have, this is the big variety. This is the first year of growing it, and I am so excited for this one. And I have some marigold on this bottom. I sow from seed for this the marigold. And this is the variety of the tomato, if you guys curious. And it's gonna be big, beautiful colors. So I have three plants of those tomato, and this one is the another big variety. That's why you guys can see that I prune a lot of the sucker out. And for the cherry tomato, I will leave the sucker on. And remember this bed is the garlic bed. So my last video, I show you guys I harvest the garlic. Now for this bed, I am planting many variety of vegetable. So I got some kales and I plant most of this one is onion. It's not the green onion, it's the onion bowl, and the variety is called Walla Walla. This one will be big yellow onion, and then I have some beans and some corn. Okay, so let's move on to this bed. I just want to just give you guys a little update over here, all the squash and zucchini. For some reason, my squash and zucchini have not had a single leaf that has powdery mildew yet. So because I keep pruning, I prune about twice a week because this thing grows so fast. And I try to keep the leaf clear. And just look at this. Oh my gosh. This one is the patty pants squash, or you can call the UFO squash. And just they produce so much. I've been harvest a lot of squash and zucchini very early in the season, and we love it so much. So now I have more zucchini on the way, and I will plant them vertically. So for this one, it's in container. This is called trambuccino, and look at the fruits. Oh my gosh, getting so big. And this one can grow so long. Some can go like 3, 4 feet long fruit. So for this one, I also prune the sucker. I only leave the main vine because this fruit is can getting really big and really long. But if you keep the suckers on, it will take away the energy from the main vine. So prune out the sucker. So here's a sucker, almost like tomato. There's a main stem, the leaf, and there's the sucker that grow in between. Almost like, pumpkins, cucumbers, they have the same. So like this one, main stem, leaf, and then pinch the sucker off. So even though you pinch the sucker, you still have the main vine will produce a lot of fruits along the main stem, and you will get bigger fruits. And I also pinch out some of the fruit too, not like leave every. Look at the fruits. They have one here, one there, and one at the end. So I would prune out some of the fruit, maybe leave only a couple. And look at these sunflowers. This one is a little bit small. This one is bigger. So the variety that I'm growing this season, there's two variety. One is the giant sunflowers, and the other one is the mammoth sunflowers. And these two variety produce seed. And my first time that growing sunflower that produce seed, so I am so excited. And this is the iceberg roses. I love it so much. The one in the front yard is very big and just love the flowers. And these cornflowers also beautiful. I just love this area so much. I prune a lot of the uh, calendula because it's like covered with powdery mildew. So now I only have some cornflowers, some marigolds, and the iceberg roses. That is one of my favorite roses, and these are so beautiful. All of these I grow from seed. I bought the seed from the package. It said butterfly and hummingbirds garden, and they have mixed variety. And cornflowers is one of my favorites because it's kind of like purplish blue, and I love purple. All right, so before I let you guys go, I just want to show around the garden a little bit. Everything growing so well, beautiful, and the peppers, and just the garden going to look like jungle again. I love when the garden is just filling, every single bed filling with vegetable. The beginning of the season is always make me sad because every single bed just looks so empty. But right now it just everything, every single bed I fill in with vegetable. And right over here, all the flowers are so beautiful. I just love the zinnia. I planted zinnia every single season, always loaded with different colors, beautiful colors, and it's very easy to grow. Growing from seed, it's always grow better than get from the nursery. And this is the corner, my favorite corner, where I sip my tea and coffee in the garden. Especially right now, we don't really have a lot of sun, so I really enjoy the time outdoors so much. All right, you guys, so I think that's it for today video, and I hope you enjoy your day. I hope you enjoy the video, and if you have any question at all, drop in the comment below because I will get back to you as soon as possible.